Dandavat pranams, Prabhuji's, Mataji's, all Vaishnava Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev.
Dandavat pranam, Nandi Sundari Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat pranam, Nandula Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanyavad Pranam, all glories to Prabhupada.
Dandavat pranam, Ishwarani Mataji, all glories to Prabhupada. So it's a short session. It's the last verse remaining. I'm not sure if many devotees will be able to join because we pre-poned, but it will be recorded. And also the last session of our Bhakti Shastri course. So,
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you
can
so
begin
much
now.
for everything. We are very grateful.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Actually, I'm planning to start another batch of Bhakti Shastri in 3 weeks, July 21st. So if anybody who is interested in Bhakti Shastri, then we can communicate to them. I will mention in the group also, because there were some devotees, they were asking. So, but there are only 4 devotees who asked. If we get a group of maybe like 10 devotees who are interested in Bhakti Shastri, then I can again start. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji, will communicate for sure.
Yes, thank you. Mataji. Okay, we'll begin now. Om Agyanti Mirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahiyam Dadati Swapadantikam Bandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sham He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि श्री गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्री गुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानंद माधवं श्री चैतन्य ईश्वरम् Isopanishad verse 80. Please destroy my sins and purify my heart. Agnenaya supatharaye ashman vishwani deva vayuyani vidvan yuyodhyasma juhurana meno bhuyishtam te nama uktim vidhema. O my Lord, as powerful as fire. The reason, if we see the first verse of this word, it says Agne. Agne refers to Agni. Agni means fire. And because the nature of fire is to burn, and the Lord is compared to Agni because he can burn our sinful reactions. So, O my Lord, as powerful as fire, O omnipotent one, means he can do anything, omnipotent one. Now I offer you all obeisances. This is the last verse where Isopanishad, this prayer is being offered to the Supreme Lord in Isopanishad. Now I offer you all obeisances. Falling on the ground at your feet. It's in utter devotion. Oh my Lord, please lead me on the right path to reach you. And since you know all that I have done in the past, the previous verse did mention, my Lord, let the death come now. Um, um, or when the death comes, please remember all that I have done for you. And this is the assumption that the Lord knows all Um, Obviously, he knows, or um, the devotee has also prayed to the Lord at the time of death. Please remember all that I have done to you. So here the devotee is saying, "Oh my Lord, please lead me on the right path to reach you." In other words, the devotee wants to reach Krishna. And the verse before last week mentions, "My Lord, please remove your." That was a verse for realizing. It was, "My Lord, please remove your effulgence so that I can see you." And the last one was, "Now death has come. Um, um, Please remember all I have done for you." Mm. This also shows, like we were discussing, that the devotee is very eager. A pure devotee is very eager to reach Krishna. Jagadguru Prabhu, um, I was driving him for a program here. Then I asked him that, "So Prabhuji, do you have a desire to go back to Godhead?" He's like 60 plus, and he came to Krishna consciousness 1980. So like 44 years he's practicing, and he's a very sincere devotee. So mm, he was saying that, "I'm praying to Krishna to please bring me back." So we also hear that the higher prayer than "Krishna take me back" is, Krishna, um, like Prahlad Maharaj prayer, "Krishna, let me keep coming again and again till there are any sinful living entities so I can serve you in this way." That is a great prayer. Or, "Whatever you want, my Lord, I surrender to you." So Prabhuji said, "I'm praying to Krishna." Then I asked Prabhuji that, "Prabhuji, do you want to go back to Godhead after this life?" And then he started laughing. He said, "Prabhu, what are you talking? Every day I'm praying to Krishna, Krishna. I don't want to come back here again." So, um, actually, I've seen that the devotee of the Lord is, um, if you if you offer me to join you in the pastures of Vrindavan in the early morning, where I will, if you give an offer, I shall certainly accept it and I shall join you. So that also shows that the devotee is very eager. So here the devotee is praying because obviously we don't know if we will be able to make it back to Godhead. So here devotee is praying, "I offer you all obeisances falling on the ground at your feet." That also signifies that we can go back to Godhead only by Lord's mercy. If Lord desires, then we can go. It is also mentioned in the Upanishad that only that person goes back to Godhead, whoever Lord chooses, not based on our sadhana. But if he chooses us, then only we go back. So here the devotee knows that only if Lord chooses us, then only I can go back. So the devotee is saying, "My Lord, please, you already know all that I have done to you. Um, I'm falling down at your feet." This is the path of bhakti. Mechanical path is by our own strength. We focus on our strength and uh, our our sadhana or our austerities or something ours. But the path of bhakti is we focus on the mercy. So here, "Oh, now I offer you all obeisances falling on the ground at your feet. You are the only shelter." Um, I fall at your feet. Please lead me to the right path to reach you. And a bhakti yogi understands that reaching Krishna is also not up to him, rather Krishna's guidance that can help us reach him. Krishna says, "Dadami buddhi yogam tam, ye namam upayantite." I give them the intelligence by which they can come to me. So here devotee is praying, "Please lead me on the right path to reach you. And since you know all that I have done in the past, please free me from the reactions to my past sins." Because many things that we have done or that we may do, um, that have the reactions. But since, my Lord, there is some somewhere you were in the center, and somewhere I was trying to serve you also. Please free me from all the reactions of my past sins, so that there will be no hindrance to my progress. Um, because like today, just I received an article by Shubhak Swami, and Shubhak Swami was mentioning about developing attachment to the holy name, developing attachment to holy name, and Maharaj begins the article, Shubhak Maharaj, and Maharaj mentions Madhu is honey, and Krishna is also referred to Madhu, and Krishna and his name are not different. Or the holy name of the Lord is like honey. So I was thinking this is what Maharaj is feeling. Uh, we cannot write an article developing attachment to the holy name because we may not have that holy name attachment. But then has done 40 years of or 50 years of sadhana, and Maharaj is saying this holy name is like honey. Um, and Maharaj is very much attached to the holy name because he's feeling. Um, so I was talking to one devotee just before this call, and I was telling this devotee that Prabhu, see, once the desire, once the sinful desires goes away, once our attachments to this material world goes away, once subtle desires of name, fame, prestige, once those desires goes away, when they go away, then um, mm, when we become purified, then there is a possibility that the holy name may seem uh, as sweet as honey to us. And I was mentioning how these desires, any other desires, they don't give us pleasure. They are a source of great anxiety. They only disturbs the mind, and they bar us from the holy name also. So we are like neither there nor here. Neither we can enjoy material happiness. Why? Krishna says material happiness, that's where I have invested the suffering for the living entity. So we can neither enjoy there, nor because we hold on to this, we can neither enjoy there. But if I want tomorrow, I'll be free. I cannot be free from those desires because it's not up to me to be free from those desires. But sadhana is up to me. Practice, sincerity, patience, effort, those choices I may have. But if we get those, that is also Krishna's mercy. We are totally dependent upon the mercy of Krishna. So here devotee is telling my Lord, helpless. I fully pay my obeisances onto your lotus feet. Please, as you know all that I have done in the past, since you know all that I have done in the past, please free me from the reactions of my past sins, so that there will be no hindrance to my progress. Please lead me to the right path. Please guide me. Please help me. Please take me. Please free me from whatever stops me. Please burn those unwanted. Actually, the reaction to my past sins, actually, whatever attachments we have in this material world is also a sinful reaction. If I want name, fame, prestige, if I want wealth, woman, if I want fill in the blanks. Um, Whatever attachments I have is actually the result of my past sins. And that's what weakens us in our devotional service. येषां तान्तगतं पापं जननां पुण्यकर्मणां ते द्वन्द्वमोहनिर्मुक्ता bhajante मां दृढव्रता. So Krishna says, those whose sins have been destroyed after many, many lifetimes of piety, those whose sins have been destroyed, they become free from dvandva and moha, illusion and duality. And why we are attached? Because we are in duality. Because we like certain things and we don't like certain things. This is dvandva. And illusion because we become caught up in the bodily conception. That is moha. And this is also because of sins. And they are the stumbling block. So here the devotee is telling, my Lord, I don't want any hindrance. Our hindrance is the reaction of our sins, past sins. And if one is free from past sins, past sinful reactions, then none of the duality, no moha, no illusion, and there will be no hindrance to the path of bhakti. So here devotee is telling, please remember all that I have done to you. Since you know all that I have done to you, this is the devotee at the time of death. There is not much I can do. Of course, time for my sadhana is also up. It's time of death for me. Please, since you know all that I have done in the past, please free me from this reactions to my past sins so that there will be no hindrance to my problems. Um, okay. Considering one previous sins and becoming anxious about attaining liberation, the devotee addresses the Lord as Agni. Considering one's previous sins. See, one previous sins does not necessarily, first of all, it doesn't matter whether we are sinning now or not, or whether we are consciously sinning or not. It doesn't matter. I mean, even if we are not sinning, doesn't matter because we are already bound by so many sinful reactions. That's why we have so many desires and attachments and longings, hankerings. So, um, so the devotee, that's why is addressing the Lord as Agni. Today we had Rath Yatra. We can pray to Jagannath or our home deities or Radha Gopichana Vallabha. Please remove these desires, these attachments. Please burn away the past sinful reactions. Oh my Lord, just like Agni burns, please burn away all these so that my attraction can flow only towards you. Rupa Goswami, I love this verse. Rupa Goswami says, how a young boy is attracted to a young girl. They don't have to think. It's so spontaneous. For us, I'm talking about me, for myself, attachment to this material world is so spontaneous for me. A moment and I'm attached. It's so spontaneous, attachment to this material world. But attachment to Krishna, even after long effort, that does not comes about. So Rupa Goswami is selling, just like a young boy and young girl, they become so attached, so attracted to each other in one glance. There is such spontaneous attraction. My Lord, likewise, let my attraction develop for you. Spontaneous attraction, very advanced platform. Spontaneous attachment to Krishna. When somebody develops spontaneous attachment to Krishna, this spontaneous path of bhakti is very advanced path. When somebody, what does it mean that somebody develops spontaneous attachment to Krishna? Spontaneous attachment to Krishna means one sees Krishna and one starts thinking all over, um, everything, one thing, one just goes into thoughts and thoughts of Krishna. I remember this pastime of Mukunda Sarkar. Mukunda Sarkar was a doctor, physician, and he was with the king. And um, the king was mentioning about his health condition. And Mukunda Sarkar was giving some suggestion. And then one servant of the king came and he started fanning the king. And when Mukunda Sarkar, he saw the peacock fan, he went into ecstasy and he fell down from the dais to the ground. The king became very much concerned. King ran and king went and king splashed some water and brought him back to consciousness. And he said, Mukunda Sarkar, doctor, what happened to you? And Mukunda Sarkar said he wanted to hide. So Mukunda Sarkar said, actually, sometime I get this fits of epilepsy. Epilepsy means I have some mental problem. And that fit came and that's why I became unconscious. But the king was able to understand that this is the pure devotion of Mukunda Sarkar. So Mukunda Sarkar has spontaneous attraction. Mukunda Sarkar saw the feather and immediately became conscious of Krishna. So much conscious of Krishna that he could not hold himself. That spontaneous attraction for Krishna that a devotee develops is way deeper than how a boy and a girl may develop attachment to each other. in the first sight. And this is Mukunda Sarkar. Same with Pundarik Vidyanidhi. Same with same with Pundarik Vidyanidhi. Pundarik Vidyanidhi heard this one verse of Putana and he just became. So this is a spontaneous attachment. Spontaneous attachment means if somebody reminds us or thought of Krishna, thought of Krishna is like it transforms us to a different platform. But our attachment to Krishna is so much that even while chanting the holy name of Krishna, even while feel Krishna, our heart does not melt. But our attachment to this material world is so spontaneous. So this is where we are, and that's where we have to go. And it seems like an impossible ride, actually. I mean, to me, seems like how can one get there? And we see all the my lord, Kunti Maharani, my lord. Just like Ganges is attracted only to the ocean and continuously flows. Likewise, my devotion to you may flow continuously, independent of like the Ganges. Nothing can stop the Ganges. The Ganges had to meet the ocean. Likewise, let my attraction flow to you in such a way that nothing can stop that. And the Ganges is attracted only to the ocean. Everything else to a Ganges is distraction. Likewise, let my goal and attraction and love flow only. Let you be the only object of my affection. And please cut off my ties to Bhojas and Vrishnis and Yadus and everybody else. And let my affection, 100% affection, be directed only towards you. So, devotees are praying. And everything else, all other attachment in this world is a result of moha, moha, dvandva, duality, illusion. This is the result of our past sins. So the devotee becomes very anxious about attaining this state of spontaneous devotion or going back to Godhead or liberation. A devotee becomes very anxious. He wants to get there. So when the devotee becomes very anxious, he addresses the Lord as Agni, my Lord, you burn whatever is there, my Lord. Please burn this. I'm fully paying obeisances to you. And there is no other hope. Please, you help me. The purifying power of fire comes from the Lord. So this is what is the sum and substance. Surrender with humbleness, shelter, receiving hope from praying to the Lord. Realizing the Lord is possible only by bhakti with suitable knowledge and detachment. So there is no other way to realize Krishna. We cannot realize Krishna by Gyan, we cannot realize Krishna by karma, we cannot realize Krishna by any other means. We may attain some kind of impersonal liberation and we may attain some siddhis, but we cannot realize Krishna. Krishna also says Bhakti Amam, only by devotion can I be understood. So realizing the Lord is possible only by bhakti with suitable knowledge and detachment. But if we don't have knowledge and detachment, if we are too attached, like the person who is sitting in front of your screen, if you are too attached, then how can we realize Krishna? Because we are too distracted by our attachment. So when there is bhakti and when it is supported by suitable knowledge and detachment, suitable knowledge and detachment. What takes knowledge away? It's the moha, illusion. Illusion takes the knowledge away and put us in ignorance, put us on a bodily platform. We forget who we really are and the knowledge is lost and we become attached. And we practice bhakti with maybe unrealized knowledge and attachment. And that's why it becomes difficult to realize the Lord. So realizing the Lord is possible only by bhakti with suitable knowledge and detachment. Surrender and prayers for causeless mercy are the means to progress on the path of self-realization. If we are practicing and if we use some intelligence, then we will realize that the path is far, goal is far, and I am bound up, and things are not moving like in a great speed in my life. We can see that things are pretty slow actually, like really, really slow. And time, maybe 1/4 of our bhakti life is over, maybe more, who knows. So the devotee realized that now causeless mercy. As he goes closer, he realized that causeless mercy is the only hope. In the beginning, we may think that I will attain it, but um, as we become more like Sagar Maharaj says, old age really helps to take complete shelter of Krishna. Sagar Maharaj says, Bhakti Rasan Sagar Maharaj. So prayers for causeless mercy. Like Jagadguru Prabhu was mentioning, every day I'm praying, Krishna, please don't let me come back. I asked Prabhuji that, Prabhuji, how is your health? And then he said, every day I'm thanking Krishna that you maintained me for one more day. Krishna is, Kunj Bihari is maintaining me day by day, one day at a time, like that. So when a devotee is like, then he realizes that only causeless mercy, because where I want to be, I'm not there yet, and time is almost up. So then the devotee surrenders and prays for causeless mercy are the means to progress on the path of self-realization. That's what actually Krishna is looking for. Karma Kanda is the lowest stage on the path of self-realization. Karma Kanda means um, I am attached to fruitive work and I get some results from it, from fruitive results, and it's it's for personal use. Um, Karma Kanda. I'm doing my karma, but I'm attached to the activities, fruitive activities. Or Karma Kanda also means taking shelter of devatas as a means to fulfill those desires or one's own karma. So Karma Kanda is the lowest stage. Even a slight deviation in the way, and okay, here Karma Kanda refers to following the injunctions of Vedas. This Agnihotra we have to do, and this and this. Um, First of all, it can only lead us to heaven. And even a slight deviation in the Vedic rules acts against the interest of the actor, becomes a vikarma. So Karma Kanda says what is karma and what is not karma. And we do something, we cannot do everything perfect 24 hours a day. Na? So we do something and there is vikarma. We do some good activities, some sacrifices, some charity, and we do some devata puja, we do those things. But then we may do something that is not prescribed by the scriptures. So even a slight deviation in the Vedic rules, which happens all the time, act against the interest of the actor. It becomes vikarma. Such vikarma enacted by the illusion jiva. Naturally, we are in illusion, so we may do certain things out of illusion. Maya is very powerful, Prabhupada says. So such vikarma enacted by the illusion jiva for sense gratification becomes hindrance on the path of self-realization. So there is zero scope, there is zero tolerance to deviation in karma kanda process. Listen it attentively. There is zero tolerance to deviation in the path of karma kanda. Because karma kanda means everything according to rituals. Um, then you will get heavenly pleasure max. But everything according to rituals. But then sometimes we become illusioned. And when we become illusioned, because Maya is very powerful, and we may do something for sense gratification, and that becomes hindrance on the path of self-realization. That becomes vikarma, and that we have to go through the suffering that comes. Zero tolerance to deviation in the path of karma kanda. So it's like lowest stage on the path of self-realization. Then out of the 8.4 million species, only human life qualified by Brahmanical culture gives a chance for self-realization. Only human life cannot discuss this subject matter with cats and dogs, or hogs, or birds, or aquatics. Intelligence is not developed. Just can't do it. What to speak about even a children? You try to explain anything to the children who are less than 5 years old, can't get it. So we just tell them, hey, and we, hey, Hari Bol, and then we tickle them. We may do those kind of things, but can't get it because intelligence is not developed. And likewise, animals, you just can't do it. Can't. So out of 8.4 million species, only human life after 5 years is qualified by Brahmanical culture, gives a chance. Here is an opportunity, gives a chance for self-realization. One becomes a Brahmana not by birthright, but by qualifications including truthfulness, sense control, forbearance, simplicity, knowledge, and faith in God. Don't know how many Brahmanas have these qualities. Truthfulness, sense control, very difficult to be truthful. Sense control, forbearance, simplicity, knowledge, and faith in God. If one becomes proud of one's Brahmanical birth, but neglects to acquire Brahmanical qualifications, one is degraded and falls from the path of self-realization. Um, if one is Brahmanical by birth, and one is proud to be a Brahmana, and one is not practicing God consciousness and other qualities, other qualifications requires, then one will fall away from the path of self-realization. Yoga Bhrashtas or souls fallen from the path of self-realization are given a chance to rectify themselves by taking birth either in the families of Brahmanas or rich merchants. Yoga Bhrashtas means those who are on a path of self-realization but could not attain perfection and they deviated from self-realization, then um, they are given, there is some rectification, there is some tolerance there. They are given a chance to take birth in the families of Brahmana or rich merchants. There are two paths. There is a gradual progress, and there is a quick progress also. One who follows the regulative principles is promoted from the platform of fruitive activities, karma, to jnana, knowledge. After many lifetimes of cultivating knowledge, one becomes perfect when one surrenders onto Krishna. There is a slow path. Slow path means you practice karma yoga for long. You practice the regulative principles, and then you may transfer from karma yoga to jnana yoga. And jnana yoga, if you remain a jnana yogi for many lifetimes, then you may become perfect when you surrender to Krishna. But quick process is one who fully surrenders to Krishna at once surpasses or preliminary stages simply by adopting the devotional attitude bhakti. The Lord at once takes the charge of surrendered souls and frees them from all sinful reactions. Krishna, what Krishna says, Sarva Dharma Parityaja, abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I will free you from all sinful reactions. O Arjuna, do not fear. So this is the quick path. Quick path means just leave everything and practice bhakti yoga. Gradual progress is you can do karma kanda, but being illusioned by illusory energy, any activity we do for sense gratification becomes vikarma, and then the suffering will come from that. And then if we are very strict practicing karma kanda, then gradually one will come to realize, become free from material desire, and one will come to the path of jnana kanda. And then after cultivating knowledge for many lifetimes, Bahunam Janmanamante Jnanamama Prapadyate Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samarma Sudurtaba. After many lifetimes of practicing Gyan, one may come to the point of surrender to Krishna. It's a gradual progress, gradual path, but quick process is just surrender to Krishna and all the sins will go away. Sinful reactions are many in Karma Kanda, but minimal in Jnana Kanda. There are many sinful reactions because Karma Kanda is zero tolerance. Jnana Kanda, we don't commit sins, actually. They are very strict people, Jnana Kandas. Live in the forest. They may have subtle desire, but they don't commit gross sins. So there is a minimal chance of sinful reactions in Jnana Kanda. But in Bhakti, there is no chance of sinful reaction because a devotee attains all the good qualifications of God Himself, but to speak of those of a Brahmana. So Karma Kanda, zero tolerance. Jnana Kanda, one does not sin, but one may sin here and there, and the realization is not complete. Realization of God is not complete. It's only Brahman feature, that's all. So limited realization of God, but also limited scope of sinning because of the knowledge that they acquire. But Bhakti Yoga has no chance for sinful reaction. Two reasons. Bhakti Yoga is great. One reason is by practice of Bhakti, the heart will become pure gradually. Because all the good qualifications of God develops in them. Um, so Bhakti Yoga will enable one to give up sinful tendencies, sinful desires, personal desire for sense gratification gradually. That desires itself may go away. Another reason Bhakti Yoga is great. Bhakti Yoga has full tolerance if we make mistakes. अपि चेत् दुराचारो भजन्ते मामानन्य भाग साधु एव समन्तव्य सम्यक् व्यवसितो हि सः. Even if one commits the most abominable activity, one is to be considered saintly if he is fixed in his devotional service. So full tolerance is in the path of bhakti to sins. We commit sin, and gradually Krishna may give some reaction to purify us or to rectify our mentality to sin, because he wants us to become pure devotees. But then very quickly Krishna rectify us, and there is no reaction actually to sin in bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga path is actually, there is lot of cushion. It's not a hard floor. Lot of cushion means um, scope to make unlimited mistakes is there in bhakti yoga, and you won't have to pay for that. That's why bhakti yoga is great. Karma kanda, clear reaction. Jnana kanda, very dry. Some Krishna says those who practice path of jnana is very dry, speculative philosophy, and Krishna says very difficult path. But bhakti yoga, very simple, connects to the heart, surrender to Krishna. And because of moha and duality, moha and dvandva, we make mistakes. Don't worry about mistakes. We will be rectified from those if we just keep practicing bhakti. We again make mistakes. Don't worry about them. Keep practicing bhakti, they will burn away. We again make mistakes. Don't worry about it. Keep practicing bhakti, it will burn away. Some reactions may come so that Krishna can remove those sinful tendencies. So reactions may be there, but unlimited cushion is there. And then gradually, because we are engaged in bhakti yoga, we develop all the qualities of Krishna. The heart becomes pure, and that's it. So it's like bhakti can take the filthiest person, like, fallen jivas of Kali Yuga. Bhakti can take those people also and qualify them to kingdom of God, to Vrindavan pastimes, qualify them to that stage of devotion, that pure stage of devotion in one lifetime. That's why Bhakti Yoga is very powerful. Others cannot do that. So human life is very rare. Human life has given us a chance. Um, uh, mm. The omnipotent Lord guides a devotee. Lord's purifying potency. He can make a dog eater superior to a qualified Brahmana. Superior to a qualified Brahmana simply on the strength of bhakti. Faith in this. You may see tomorrow a Brahmana comes, and he's chanting so many Vedic mantras and performing so many yagyas and pujas, and seems very qualified in the way he dresses, in the way he speaks. You may feel like, I'm very fallen compared to this person is so great. That's how we should feel, that this person is great. But according to Shastra, a dog eater, by the path of bhakti and by the mercy of the Lord, a dog eater is superior to a qualified Brahmana, simply on the strength of bhakti. So bhakti, this whole verse is actually the devotee simply pouring his heart and praying to Krishna. Krishna, like Agni, you remove all the sins. Give me guidance how I can come to you. Let there be no hindrance in my path to you. So this is a path of shelter, surrender, and this is a pure mood of bhakti. Devahuti, there's a verse in Devahuti says a dog eater can become qualified to perform Brahmanical activities. Imagine how many of us, we may be from very different background and we may have very bad sins. But today we may be engaged with this Bhakti Shastri course where we can serve their Lordship, Radha Gopijana Vallabha, serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Not even many of us may not be born in Brahmanical families and may have sinful tendencies now also. But the path of Bhakti is our qualification. Bhakti is very powerful. Then another effect of bhakti is inspiration. Situated within the heart of everyone, he can give directions to his sincere devotees to never act wrongly. When we are practicing bhakti sincerely, Krishna is sitting in our heart and Krishna will give directions. Don't act wrongly. Whether it is interaction with devotees or whether it is a selfish desire or a sinful desire. Don't act wrongly. This is how those who practice bhakti, they are helped by Krishna and attain the right path, even if they desire something else. Even if there is some other desires, Krishna says, don't do that. Or um, Krishna forcibly gives us his own shelter. How Krishna forcibly gives us his own shelter? If we are deviating, Krishna says, take shelter of me, I'll protect you. Um, um, Sarva Durgani, Machitta Sarva Durgani. Krishna says, 18th chapter, if you take shelter of me, I will help you cross over. So Krishna forces on his devotees his shelter. And when Krishna forces his shelter on devotees, then devotee after making mistakes, devotees think, Krishna forces in the heart, Krishna says, take shelter of me. And we're like, Krishna, please help me. And Krishna helps us come out of it. Krishna is eager to help us. But that thought to take shelter of Krishna also comes by Krishna's mercy. For non-devotees, God gives sanction to the doer only at the risk of the doer. Non-devotee, they want to do something wrong. God says, all right. You want to go and eat cow? All right. You want to go and misbehave with that person? All right. You want to leave home and run away? All right. And you want to go to these nightclubs? All right. And that's it. But at the risk of the doer. But to the devotee, Krishna says, hey, hey, you should not do this. This is wrong. This word was wrong that you speak. This desire is wrong. No, 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 you don't do it. So that's how this is only the privilege of bhakti yogis. Before we came to Krishna consciousness, we did million things that were wrong and we are okay with it. And we are eager to do all the sinful things. God is not telling us, don't do it. We are driven to do it. But now, even a small thing, God says, no, 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 no. You should be careful. Don't do it. There will be a heavy reaction. Oh, yeah, I should not do this. So, inspiration, then rectifying. Even if the surrendered devotee sometimes fall into vikarma, actions against the Vedic directions, the Lord at once rectifies such mistake from within their hearts. So, even if Krishna says, don't do it, and we are like Prabhupada says, Maya is very powerful, and we do it, then Krishna will rectify the sins also. Who can give you so much cushion actually? First, he guides you. First, he makes you qualified. Even if you're a dog eater, he makes us qualified to become superior, even not just equal, superior to a qualified Brahmana, not fallen Brahmana, qualified Brahmana. You become superior to that even if you are born in dog eater. So Krishna gave you that adhikar. Then Krishna helps you and give you inspiration what not to do. And even if you do it, Krishna says, all right, then Krishna will rectify you also from that. So that much cushion, no other path has that. Um, this is the this is the advantages or the superiority of bhakti. To err is human, surrender to err is human. A conditioned soul often commits mistakes, especially the more we are in the beginning stages, the more mistakes we may make, and um, gradually the mistakes may reduce in frequency. But one has to be careful. One has to be careful and diligent not to commit mistakes. Still, a conditioned soul often commits mistakes. The only remedy against such unintentional sin is to give oneself up to the Lord's lotus feet so that he may guide us to avoid such pitfalls. Then, if you make some such mistake, take shelter of Krishna. Krishna, please help me not to fall into such pitfalls again. And then Krishna guides, but we may not have enough strength and we may give into it again. We just have to take shelter of lotus feet of Krishna, and Krishna, please help me not to become victimized by Maya. Again, lot of cushion, unlimited cushion. Um, just bhakti is bhakti. Bhakti is supremely omnipotent. That is what the heading is, not the omnipotent Lord guides a devotee. That's why he's referred to as omnipotent. Like anything he can absorb and keep help us and helps us make progress if we just stick to our sadhana. Caring, the Lord is very caring. The Lord takes charge of fully surrendered souls. Thus, all problems are solved simply by surrendering and acting in terms of his directions. So, Lord take charge of fully surrendered souls. All problems are solved simply by surrendering. Any problem we are in, Krishna, please help me to come out of this problem. Problem solved. Another problem, Krishna, please help me. I want to serve you. Solved. We may make a blunder also. Krishna, please, I made a blunder. Please help me in this situation. Sometime it may take to rectify, but resolved. So this is how much Krishna cares. And Krishna cares in all different ways. Krishna provides us everything we need. Krishna provides. Krishna provides like a mother, how the mother takes care of his devotees, or how the mother take care of his children. Mother is very caring to his child, especially a newborn child. Likewise, Krishna is very caring for his devotees. And in like father and mother, even if like something happens in school or the teachers beats the child, or the parents are always ready to fight for their children. The parents are always giving protection to their children. They love their children so much. Um, any problem child face, the parents are there behind to be a step ahead of children, to protect the children. Likewise, mm, but we have to as much you take shelter of me, and that's how you will be able to cross over. If you're conscious of me, you will be able to cross over all the Durgani, all the obstacles. But if you act out of false ego, you will be lost towards you. So those all problems are solved simply by surrender and acting in terms of full and with transcendental Vedic knowledge. And that cannot be understood by mundane educational procedures. Cannot understand transcendental knowledge by reading books. It is actually only by Bhakti. We are on the last slide. When the river was lost, is my wife is Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, the transmission, we lost the transmission there, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. How is my sound now without video?
Yes, Prabhuji, now it's clear. Yes.
Probably was my sound breaking a lot before?
Yes, Prabhu, we lost the sound completely and your video.
But before that, when we were discussing, was my sound audible and clear or no? It was breaking all the time.
It was breaking up just a little bit, Prabhuji. Yes, it was.
Not too much.
No, just the
At
last.
the end, yeah.
Just at the end, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Just at the end.
Yes.
Mm.
Okay, I'll quickly cover. This is the last slide.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you. So by the grace of Guru and Krishna, by the grace of Guru and Krishna and devotees, fully enlightened with transcendental Vedic knowledge that cannot be understood by mundane educational process. So here, like I remember, first time I went to Vrindavan. Actually, I heard the first class I heard in my Krishna consciousness was in Noida temple, and then I don't remember anything what I heard there. And then the second class I heard was in Vrindavan temple in Krishna Balram Mandir. Could not understand anything. And when what devotees were speaking, even one on one, could not understand anything still. So, um, 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 so I was thinking, only by bhakti, one is enlightened with transcendental Vedic knowledge. This knowledge that we are discussing, I mean, many times I think if somebody knew people and I speak something, then many times I can feel in their face that they're not getting it. And I remember my initial days, I'm like, okay, I didn't get anything either. So here it says that the mercy of Bhakti Yoga, anybody who practice devotional service Bhakti and get the grace of Guru and Krishna, they can fully understand all the Vedic knowledge, Bhagavad Gita, what Krishna speaks, and they can relate. And this enlightenment is not a mundane educational procedure, because we may be able to understand our books, our college books, our jobs, but we cannot understand anything about Krishna consciousness. Even if we are maybe the best, cannot understand Krishna consciousness. So that shows that this enlightenment of this understanding of Krishna consciousness and this Vedic knowledge, transcendental knowledge, it is enlightened by the grace of Guru and Krishna, by the process of Bhakti Yoga. Otherwise, one cannot understand, even if one is very intelligent. So this is another effect. One is enlightened by the grace of Guru and Krishna, and devotee is fully enlightened with transcendental Vedic knowledge that cannot be understood by mundane educational procedures. Yasya deve para bhaktir yatha deve tatha guru Shvetashvatara Upanishad 623. Prabhupada says, only unto those great souls who have implicit faith in both the Lord and the spiritual master are all the imports of the Vedic knowledge automatically revealed. This is very nice verse. Prabhupada quotes it all the time. So important. Prabhupada says, one who has implicit faith in Guru and Krishna. Faith in Krishna, faith in Guru. And Guru includes all the representatives of Guru also. One who has faith in Krishna and one who has faith in Guru. What this faith in Guru and faith in Guru means? Dasosmi. I am your servant. I exist because I exist by your mercy. I exist because of you. So one who have implicit faith and everything you say, I trust you. Faith is there. Only unto those souls who have implicit faith in both the Guru and Krishna are all the imports of Vedic knowledge automatically revealed. They will understand Shastra. Vedic knowledge is esoteric, but it's not gained by intelligence, but it is gained by enlightenment in the heart. This is another effect of bhakti. By Krishna's grace, one takes shelter of bona fide Guru. Even to be able to take shelter of bona fide Guru is Krishna's grace. And to have faith in Guru is also Krishna's grace. When Krishna is pleased with us, we will have faith in our Gurus. That is also Krishna's grace. Thus, a protected devotee doesn't fall down into the mire of material illusion and is sure to reach the ultimate destination of perfection. So, a person who is practicing Bhakti Yoga, we were discussing how much cushion Bhakti Yoga has. So, the devotee is protected from all fronts. You cannot make a mistake. Just don't offend devotees, because that is then Krishna is displeased. We are all living by grace of Krishna, na? And Krishna is protecting. So any sins you do, fine. Krishna may give you some punishment, may give us some punishment, but okay, Krishna will bring us back. And Krishna will do everything if we just engage in devotional service gradually. Just don't offend devotees. That's the only thing. Thus, a protected devotee doesn't fall again into the mire of material illusion and is sure to reach the ultimate destination of perfection. But the path of Karma Kanda, it's a hard floor. And Jnana Kanda, very dry, difficult process. And still, after so many lifetimes of difficult process also, only partial realization. And after lifetimes of such, one may come to the point where Krishna is everything. But the quickest progress is just take to bhakti, surrender to Krishna. Even if Krishna says, even if you are the worst of all living entities, you can cross over this ocean of birth and death. Even if you are the most sinful living entity, we can cross over. This that much ability of bhakti yoga is there. Um, Ajamil. So Krishna, spiritual master, and from the Lord Himself, from the Lord Himself, from within the heart. Krishna in the heart is helping us, and Krishna is helping us through saints, scriptures, and spiritual master. So in all ways, Krishna is protecting us. This is the effect of bhakti. Hearing and chanting. This is the last. This is the last point. Hearing and chanting Krishna's glories. What happens if you continue to hear and chant? All the undesirable things will go away. Just have faith in hearing and chanting. Just keep chanting, keep hearing, keep glorifying Krishna, keep hearing the glories of Krishna, either through reading or through hearing, whichever means. Hearing and chanting, all the undesirable things will gradually go away, and take shelter of Krishna. If undesirable things are still there, that will pacify your heart for the time being, and keep yourself busy. Empty time will again bring us back to unwanted desires. So keep ourselves busy, um, and gradually all the undesirable things will go away. Then devotion becomes fixed. Right now, why devotion is not fixed? Because undesirable things are there in the heart. But when those are cleansed by hearing and chanting, then devotion becomes fixed. And once devotion becomes fixed, then passion and ignorance will go away. Devotees whose devotions are fixed, they are not, because no effect of passion and ignorance and clarity of knowledge, they're not affected by, uh, they're not bewildered by illusion and dualities, no unwanted desires. So their devotion is always fixed. Independent of circumstances, their devotion are fixed. Effect of passion, ignorance goes away. And then one is enlightened by the virtue of bhakti. Once no passion, no ignorance, only sattva gun or transcendence, um, in fixed devotion, then they become more and more enlightened by the virtue of bhakti. And then they knows the way to attain the Lord. And once one is enlightened by the virtue, or once one is more and more soaked in bhakti, enlightened by bhakti, um, he will understand the way to attain the Lord. He will get further directions, and gradually all the doubts will diminish. All doubts will diminish, and one becomes a pure devotee. And these doubts, every material desire is actually because of doubt. Every faith in material world is because there is doubt in spiritual realizations, or because we have not fully realized Krishna, because we have not become Krishna conscious. And that's why there is faith in illusions. There is faith in this material world. There is unwanted desires, undesirable things in the heart. That all is because of doubt. Because basically we have not, to the extent we have realized Krishna, to that extent we are free from doubt. But when when one is soaked up in bhakti and free from passion and ignorance, and get full guidance from the Lord, and the Lord start revealing, to that extent the doubts goes away, and to that extent one becomes a pure devotee. So that's the end of Sri Isopanishad. If there are any discussion, any questions, we can take them. Otherwise, thank you for this journey, maybe 1.5 years.
Prabhuji, Danda Pranam Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Self-development.
Mataji, you want to ask? You were asking?
Go ahead.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for such a wonderful lecture for so long. It has been so inspiring. We've learned so much. We are going closer and closer to Krishna. We can't forget him 24 hours a day. Prabhuji, because of you, you have enlightened my heart. I'm so thankful to you, Prabhuji.
Well, if I can receive your blessings, that's what.
Prabhuji, always, as always.
See, you can remember Krishna so much, and I cannot remember Krishna at all. So if you can bless me with bhakti, that's what I'm looking for.
Krishna is so merciful, Prabhuji. The blessings are there for you.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
There was a question which I have regarding, like you mentioned about the chanting of the holy name and those passing full because of there's no taste in the holy name. And I think at the end you mentioned that by continuing this only gradually. So is there any, like we are chanting Prabhuji, I mean, obviously, is there any barometer to check the progress, or it is just we need to continue? How do we know that we are on the right path?
Prabhuji, if we are chanting and if we are serving, we are on the right path. Like His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj says, if we are just on
Your
it,
voice is breaking, Prabhuji.
let me turn off my video, Prabhuji. Yeah. But is the voice okay now?
Yes, Prabhuji, I can hear now.
So what I was saying is, Prabhuji, if we are serving and if we are continuing our sadhana, and if we are sincere about our sadhana, doing our sadhana, or maybe doing extra sadhana once in a while if possible, and if we are trying to keep service in the center, rest assured we are on the right path. Even if obstacles, like I was mentioning, bhakti has a lot of cushion. So even if we fall flat, we won't get harm actually, because of the cushion that bhakti, the path of bhakti gives. And His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj says, even if we are just focused in our hearing, in our sadhana, in our seva, um, Maharaj says, we won't even realize how Krishna is becoming, we will be realizing Krishna more and more, and we won't even realize. And we will realize Krishna more, and that will become normal for us, and we won't even realize. And we realize Krishna even more. So this path of bhakti is like, there is growth every minute. There is every little thing we do in Krishna consciousness, there is growth, there is growth, there is growth. But because it is so gradual, it seems like, okay, and that's how a devotee never thinks he is making progress. And he does not become proud also of the progress that he is getting, which is again the mercy of Krishna. If it is genuine progress, pride will not come out of genuine progress. Shivram Maharaj mentions pride comes when we try to practice bhakti beyond our adhikar. Practice the kind of bhakti beyond our adhikar. That what leads to pride. But when there is a natural progression, pride won't come. And the devotee, even after making lot of progress, the devotee will feel that I have nothing. and he only sees how far he is from Krishna, and it makes the devotee more and more humble because he feels, oh, it's actually very far, and pride will not be there in that. So if you're just serving and if you're doing our sadhana, realizations is there, it's coming, it's gradual, and progress is there. That's my, that's what I can say for you.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you.
Thank you. Anything else? Anybody else?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Because of these sessions, we were at least like studying these books, Nectar of Instruction, Nectar of Devotion. So I have one desire, if at all possible in future, please start Bhakti Vaibhav course as well, Prabhuji.
Actually, Bhakti Vaibhav is Bhagavatam.
Yeah, Bhagavatam. At least because of that, I will means like study the Bhagavatam. We
See,
just
Mataji,
read it. So
my request is you explore Sunday 10 a.m. Mataji. Sunday 9:30 a.m. Sunday 9:30 a.m. we do Bhagavatam study where we
okay.
actually discuss one entire chapter in one class, and we go in detail on the theme and what we are on third canto now. The desire is to finish the entire Bhagavatam. We began this in-depth study of Bhagavatam, and I'm referring to Gaurang Darshan Prabhu's Bhakti Vaibhav books on Bhagavatam. I'm referring to those and Srila Prabhupada purports, and then we come up with the summarizing the entire chapter. And
Okay.
I think if your desire is Bhagavatam, more in-depth Bhagavatam, you may try that, Mataji.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna
Thank you.
Prabhuji. That is Saturday, I think, 9:30 a.m.
Prabhu, thank you. Himanshu Prabhu. Yeah, Saturday. See,
Gauri Jeevni Mataji, we share the link to you, 9:30 Saturday class.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you. You're welcome. And again, I made this announcement in the beginning. We are planning to start Bhakti Shastri again from July 21st. It is tentative right now, but there are 4 devotees who brought up to this notice that we want to do Bhakti Shastri. And if you know somebody who has some interest, if we get, maybe I'm thinking a rough number of around 10 devotees, then again we will start Bhakti Shastri and it will end by December 2025, we are hoping.
Prabhuji, Dandavat Prabhuji. So is this the next session that on Bhakti Shastri that you are planning to start, Prabhuji? Is it also going to be kind of a crash, like summarized version or more detailed?
I don't know. Based on the kind of devotees who joins.
Okay.
If it is, mm, we will spread the message in all the groups that we are starting Bhakti Shastri. And if people are like chanting 8 rounds and less understanding, then we can go in a little bit more detail. Otherwise, we can go in a little bit faster, because here most of the devotees in this group are initiated, most of, and the purpose is, I mean, at least my purpose initially was to create more brahmanas for Radha Gopi Janavallabha. I mean, also devotees getting Brahman initiated here also and there also. That was the purpose. Based on the devotees who join, Prabhuji, I will publish it more details if we happen to start. But if you know somebody, you can refer them.
Sure, Prabhuji.
And they can contact me if they are interested.
Will do. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Anand Girdhari Prabhuji.
And Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, if you want again join, again do it, so again can also make it, Prabhuji, if we want again.
Well, I don't want same group of
Even
people.
Prabhuji. Because Prabhuji, every time we have to learn new things. So never, Prabhuji, So that's why we are
I
asking,
will
can you
send the
join
link.
back again?
Yeah, devotees who like, if
Okay.
they want to join again, they're most welcome and more than welcome. Yet it will be like, since the effort is for mainly creating brahmanas. I mean, I finished my Bhakti Shastri long before actually, before even I was chanting 16 rounds, I started my Bhakti Shastri. So I finished my Bhakti Shastri like long back before even I was initiated. So it's always helpful, even if I will keep I was thinking to keep the minimum requirement of 8 rounds for the next Bhakti Shastri course. And if more devotees are like chanting not so many rounds, then we may go in a little bit more depth. Or if they are all initiated devotees, then probably it will be a crash course again.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Welcome, Mataji. Very much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Shri
Then
Krishna.
Pranam Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, one quick question. So,
Huh.
the Mukund which you were referring today, so is that same which was having Hanuman? He was in form of like a
No,
Hanuman
no,
earlier.
that was Murari Gupta.
Okay.
There is Murari
Got it.
Gupta, there is Mukunda Dutt, there is not Mukunda, this Mukunda Sarkar.
Sarkar. Okay. And Mukunda, that is like who was used to be Vasudev Dutt and Jagannath Pandit, and four those devotees were used to be there earlier for the before Vrindavan Yatra, I think.
Yeah,
That Mukunda, that was
Mm.
different.
So Mukunda is the one who was participating in Lord's pastime, and sometimes he would go and listen to impersonalists. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, he will never see me for 1 million lifetime, and he became very happy. I will see the Lord. So that was Mukunda. And he was the one who took Gadadhar Pandit to Pundrik Vidyanidhi. And he was closely involved with Mahaprabhu, and he would involve with impersonalist also. That was Mukunda.
And
The
this
other
one
who were
is again
singers,
different.
the singers were Ghosh brothers.
Oh, okay. In Krishna Lila, they were singers.
The singers were
Okay.
Ghosh brothers.
That's Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you
Then,
very much for the entire course, Prabhuji.
thank you.
Otherwise, for me, it was difficult to study it all on my own.
Well, I think like my role is almost done. Now it's up to devotees to write the exam and assignments. I personally want to release all the certificates in the month of August. Um, and it will be nice if you all send the papers, because if we have to check all at once, it's easier because we are in a flow of checking. But if paper comes one by one, then we lose the touch, and then to check for one devotee may take a long time, because then it's like, it takes effort to check the papers, because we have to rebrush, and then we want to keep the same marking scheme. Okay, how we were marking. So when it is in the mind, checking 20 papers is like more effective. But checking one paper after 6 months will be like, and I cannot say no to any devotee if they send after 6 months. So it's a humble request if you all can send timely all the papers. Next time Malati Prabhu comes, probably in August, because she has to sign all the Bhakti Shastri certificates. And then it will be easy for us to release all the certificates. We will have exam on 21st or 20th July. We would like to keep a goal of end of July to submit all the papers, any pending papers. So it's a 1 month time frame. That's humble request. It makes our life also easier.
Yeah, Prabhuji will try surely to complete within time.
Yeah, I know. It's always hectic, especially in the beginning. It's easy to catch up, and once we come towards the end, and devotee's life is super busy, I understand. And they're doing all these services, and in between this exam and reading, and it takes a lot of mental space, which is not easy to take out that much time out. But try to somehow adjust. Okay, anything else? Otherwise, it was a great joy to be with all of you and do this Bhakti Shastri course. During the course of this course, if I made any mistakes, please forgive me as a humble servant. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Dandavat pranam. My obeisances. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Dandavat
Bye,
pranam.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you,
so
Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. You have a rest now, Prabhuji.
much. Let's see. Krishna decides. Thank you very much. Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Prabhuji. So much, Prabhuji.
you
Please
very
keep me in your prayer, Prabhuji.
Definitely, Mataji.
Yeah.
Dandavat pranam. Hare Krishna.
Dandavat pranam.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.